You know, every single day, you and I rely on this vast, unseen world of steel and wire that powers, well, everything in our connected lives. It's this invisible infrastructure of the modern age. And believe me, it is under immense pressure to evolve. But what happens when that pressure hits a breaking point?
It seems so simple, right? There's a tower in a field and your phone just works. But behind that easy connection is this super high stakes world of engineering, economics, and honestly, incredible human effort. So let's ask the question, what does it really take to keep that signal strong?
We're talking about an industry that is insanely capital intensive. I mean, the scale is massive, and both the financial and the physical risks, they are dangerously high. Let's just look at the numbers to see what I mean. Think about this for a second. Just to figure out if one single existing tower is still structurally sound, an engineering firm might have to run a full-on analysis. That alone can cost more than $10,000. And that's for just one tower, before you even think about adding a single piece of new gear.
And just to make it more interesting, the goalposts are always moving. The latest industry safety code, for example, can increase the calculated force of the wind on a tower by up to 30%. Can you imagine telling an engineer, hey, that perfectly solid structure you built, yeah, it now has to be ready for a hurricane that's a third stronger? That's the kind of challenge we're dealing with here.
And this brings us to the real human conflict at the heart of this industry. The danger for the technicians climbing these towers is very, very real. But that danger gets amplified by this intense economic pressure to just work faster and cheaper. It creates a system where the safety of people is in a constant tug-of-war with the bottom line.
So, to really see how companies are starting to solve this puzzle, we first need to understand the machine itself. Let's pop the hood and break down the anatomy of a telecom tower, because it's way more than just a big steel pole.
Everything, and I mean everything, starts with the TIA 222 standard. The best way to think about it is as the official building code for the sky. It is the master rulebook. It dictates how every tower has to be built and maintained to survive wind, ice, even earthquakes. And compliance? It is not a suggestion, it's the law.
So here you can see the equipment that actually makes the tower do its job. These long, kind of spindly things are called Yagi antennas. And in the language of this industry, every single item that gets bolted onto a tower has a special name. It's called an appurtenance.
And an appurtenance is literally anything attached to the main structure. We're talking antennas, mounts, cables, even the ladder for climbing. You have to think of the tower like a giant sail. Every single piece you add, no matter how small it seems, catches more wind and adds more stress. And the whole structure has to be engineered to handle all of it. Now, to handle all that stress, some of the biggest towers are held in place by these massive steel cables. This hunk of metal right here, called a guy anchor or a fan plate, is where those cables meet the earth. It might not look like much, but it's the critical anchor point holding the entire structure against literally thousands of pounds of force. Okay, so with all this physical complexity, the biggest challenge wasn't just building the towers, it was managing the information about them. The sheer volume of data from every last bolt and antenna was creating an absolute operational nightmare. I mean, the old way was basically organized chaos. Just picture a technician hundreds of feet in the air trying to scribble notes on a clipboard in the wind and rain. Then those notes get driven back to an office, manually typed into a spreadsheet, typos and all, and filed away somewhere. It created huge delays and nobody really trusted the data. The new way? It's a total digital revolution. And it all starts right here in the field. Instead of that clipboard, a technician now uses a highly structured digital form on a tablet or a phone. Every single measurement, every photo, every observation, it's all captured precisely and consistently every single time. This is the birth of clean, reliable data. And this one change creates this incredibly powerful workflow. The data is captured perfectly in the field, and the second the tech hits submit, bam, it's instantly available back at the office. A project manager can check the quality of the information in real time. Once it gets the green light, the system automatically generates a complete professional report. The entire chain, from top to bottom, is finally connected.
So this whole new workflow is possible because of a combination of really smart software and, just as importantly, a whole new way of thinking about communication and teamwork.
Here's the heart of the system. Think of it like a digital gatekeeper. On the left, you see good data just flowing through, all green. But on the right, the moment the system spots an error, a missing photo, a measurement that's way off, it slams on the brakes. It stops it cold. Nothing bad gets downstream. This ensures every single decision is based on perfect information right from the start.
So, if your software demands perfect data, how do you get your people to communicate just as clearly? Well, that's where a huge cultural shift comes in. Some of these companies adopted this radical communication style they called the super reformat. It forces everyone, from the field tech all the way to the CEO, to boil down complex ideas into these brutally simple bullet points. It's about creating a human protocol that's just as reliable as the software protocol. And the ultimate result of all this perfect data is what's called the digital twin. It's an exact, data-rich, 3D model of the real-world tower. Just imagine being able to fly around a 1,000-foot tower, inspect every single bolt, measure every cable, and plan a future upgrade, all from your desk. That is the power of this. It's safer, it's faster, and it creates one single source of truth for the entire company. Okay, so all this incredible technology and process improvement is cool, but what does it actually mean for the business? Well, it means turning clean data directly into dollars.
And the financial impact is just massive. Get this. By creating these perfect digital twins, tower owners discovered that up to 45% of the equipment on some towers wasn't even on their official records. This meant other companies were using space without paying for it. For tower owners, this was like finding millions of dollars in new, recurring revenue they didn't even know they had. And the return on investment for their own teams is just as stark. Look at this chart. What used to be a full, miserable day for a project manager, manually dragging photos, copying data, building a report, can now be done with a single click. A perfect 53-page closeout package is generated in under a minute. That's not just a little bit more efficient. It's a completely new way to operate. At the end of the day, this is about more than just efficiency. It's a fundamental change in what these companies are. They're not just infrastructure companies anymore. They're becoming tech companies. They're building these central data platforms, they're selling access to their digital twins as a subscription service, and they're laying the groundwork for a future where AI helps manage these vast, complex networks. You know, this whole revolution started with a pretty simple problem. How do we know exactly what's on top of a single cell tower? But it points to a much, much bigger shift. As our physical and digital worlds keep merging like this, you just have to ask yourself, what other essential, invisible industries are next to be completely rebuilt by data from the ground up?